The best Final Fantasy games on Roblox. Hey guys, welcome back to another amazing video here on BloxSquare. Most of you already know what Final Fantasy is all about. In case you don't, it's a popular Japanese video game series that began all the way back in 2003. These games are popular and fun to play. If you're a Final Fantasy fan, it turns out there are games from the series that you can play on Roblox. Of course, these are spin-offs, but still, in this video, we bring you the best Final Fantasy games on Roblox. Stay tuned. Before we start with today's video, however, make sure you subscribe to our channel and also turn on the bell for the latest notifications and updates. Make sure you never miss another video. With that said, let's jump into today's video. Final Fantasy Roblox Edition. We start off with Final Fantasy Roblox Editions, an RPG game. This game involves you slashing monsters all over the map, purge the land of all evil that has been plaguing it, level up and defeat your enemies, and flex on loaders with the battle theme song. This game is quite generic since it's just a free roam fighting game, but since it's a Final Fantasy game, it doesn't matter. The game gives you access to a lantern, sword, and a bow with limited arrows. Explore the map with a unique environmental design. If you love the series, do check this game out. Final Fantasy World. Final Fantasy World is a testing game allowing you to test all the major weapons in the franchise. This is also a free roam fighting game and is built on the Final Fantasy franchise. In the game, you'll be spawning in a terrible base plate with a bridge or another terrain base plate. The entire map covers the fighting arena. This is a fighting game where you will be killing other players. There are morphs in the games too. You can morph yourself into Cloud Strife. Go play this amazing game. Fantasy Unleashed. This game is fairly new with many features and stuff to participate in. Fantasy Unleashed features a standard RPG adventure game. As an RPG adventure game, it has all the elements of an RPG. There are dungeons, EXP, polished crafting systems, farming mobs as well as bosses and other mobs. There's also a really good PvP mode and PvE mode. The game has amazing animations, effects, and most importantly, a map to play in. The environment is pretty nice and makes it feel like it's an open world game. There are plenty of locations to explore along with NPC interactions, which makes this a complete Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy VII Roleplay. Final Fantasy VII Roleplay is, as you can guess, a roleplay game. This game is a pretty relaxing game with no objective and task to complete or involves full-fledged roleplay. The game might seem boring due to its roleplay, which is the main feature, but you can morph yourself into any character you want from the Final Fantasy series. You can morph yourself into Cloud Strife, Sephiroth, Zack, Aerith, Tifa, Genesis, and many more. The game is set in Midgar, the setting for the Final Fantasy VII game. You can relive the memories of where Aerith was stabbed and killed, explore the church, Northern Cave, Seventh Heaven, and the entirety of Midgar South. The map is pretty detailed with plenty of Final Fantasy references. Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is a game based on the most popular game in the Final Fantasy series. In this game, however, you're going to be playing as the younger versions of Cloud Strife through a morphing system. In the game, you spawn in a place with a lot of hills and castle. The location is full of zombies, plenty of them. You are equipped with a standard sword to slay these zombies. Now it seems weird to slay zombies in a Final Fantasy game, but that is how it goes. Final Fantasy Last War. Final Fantasy Last War is a fighting game where you can morph into one of the 5 main characters in the series: Fawn, Tidus, Squall, Cloud, and Bosch. This is an endless fighting game where you're going to be fighting zombies and goblins wherever you go. You can use a bazooka, bow, sniper rifle, and 2 magical swords. The NPCs are hostile, but wait till you fight the bosses and the king. Keep an eye out for threats. Dissidia Final Fantasy XII. Dissidia Final Fantasy XII is one of the best Final Fantasy games that makes this list. The game is an RPG adventure, one where you can earn gold, buy swords, learn magic, and of course, you can also farm in the dungeons of the game. This is just a fighting game and nothing more, but it's still pretty good. Those were the best Final Fantasy games to play on Roblox. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching and we will see you in the next video.